Hi everyone, I'm Gina Kay from Gina Kay Designs and your host of Stamp TV. Today on Stamp TV, I'm going to show you a quick and easy card project featuring our brand new incentive stamp set, Handmade Botanicals. Let me show you the tools and products you're going to need to make this card project. First, you're going to need some stamps, and I'm going to use two stamp sets. I'm going to use the Handmade Botanicals, which is the new one that you get for free with any $75 purchase. And then I'm going to use the Massive Messages, and this one was one of our past incentive sets, and it's now available for purchase. For inks, I'm going to use some Grass Green, some Turquoise Sea, Black Onyx, and Lovely Lavender. Then I'm going to use some sponge daubers, so I have 3 of those, and they actually have some ink on them because I've been playing with this technique all day. Then you're going to need some adhesive. And for cardstock, the colors that I'm using are the Gina Kay Designs Layering Weight White, our Black Onyx, and then I have some Ocean Mist. Alternatives for this particular card are, if you don't want to use Ocean Mist, you can use Turquoise Sea, you can use Grass Green, or you can use Lovely Lavender, or you can do a white card base too. You're going to need some acrylic blocks, and you're going to need some low tack tape, and I'm using washi tape because I have tons and tons of washi tape and lots of rolls of similar colors and patterns, so I'm going to use that for my project today. One more item you're going to need is just some plain copy paper. And I like using copy paper for this technique because it's real thin and you can kind of see through it and you can see what's going on underneath. So I'm going to start here with this piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to take a piece of copy paper and I'm going to tear it. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be nice. In fact, the more jagged it is, the better. And if it's too jagged, you can just take a little bit off here and there. Okay, so there's my first piece, and I'm going to do one more. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to use this piece. Kind of like that layout. Okay, so that looks pretty good there. I'm going to tear it just a hair more so that it's not too similar. I'll tear this top part a little bit. Okay, so now I have 2 separate strips of white copy paper. Now I'm going to take a little bit of tape. I'm just going to put it down onto this piece of scrap copy paper, and I just kind of want to get some of the oils from my skin on it so it's not too tacky. But I do want that piece of cardstock to stay put, so there we go. Okay, now for this piece of copy paper, let me just get rid of this one little hill here. It's just a little high. I'm going to put this one right about here. And you want to make sure that you have enough room for your greeting so you can decide which greeting you're going to use. I'm going to use the birthday wishes. And just look through and make sure that it looks like you have room between where the copy paper ends up here and where the line that you're able to see through. You can see that I'll just put some pressure on that because that's where the bottom of the cardstock is. So there's plenty of room if I put it right there. Okay, so now I'm going to tack that down with a little bit of washi tape so that stays put. And then I want to put this piece up here with a little bit of a border. You can see where, let me run my nail across there, you can see where that will stop up there. Because I want to have a little bit of white showing up top as well. Okay, make sure that that's nice and tight and flat. Alright, so the first color that I'm going to use is the Grass Green. And I have a sponge dauber that already has some green on it from a project that I did a little bit earlier, you can see. And you want to ink that up real well. And you can turn this whole project sideways if you want. And I always like to just dab a little bit off first so that I don't get that real kind of circular blotch. And I'm going to start on the copy paper and I'm going to work my way up onto the piece of cardstock. Just like that. That'll give you a nice smooth look. Okay. So then the next color that I'm going to use is the Turquoise Sea. I'm not sure which dauber I was using earlier for that. There we go, good pick. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ink that up real well. I just want to dab a little bit of that off. And then kind of coming in from the side, I'm going to add a little bit of that to the mix. There. Okay. And then my last color is going to be the lovely Lavender. Ink that up real well. And then I'm going to flip this around. And I'm going to come in from the other side. Same way. This is such a nice light color. Okay. Then I'm going to work that sponge down into the blue a little bit. Keep that. Just so where they meet looks just a little bit purple. Okay. So now I'm going to keep that tack down. And now, my next step is to grab some stamps. So I'm going to start with this round block, and I'm going to grab my stamp set, and I want to pick a couple of these stamps and stamp them all at the same time. So I'm going to put this one on the block. I'll use, use this one. No, I use this one. I'm going to put that one kind of on an angle like that. And then I'm going to put this one like that. And don't worry if they're hanging off the bottom of your block. That's just fine. I'm only going to ink up the parts that are on the block anyway. And I'm going to use some of the black Onyx ink. I'm going to stamp that first one right about here. And then I'm going to do one more like that over in this area. Okay. Now I'm going to pull these off, and I'm going to do a couple by themselves. So I'm going to use this one and add a second little sprig right there. I'm going to add one here. And then I think I'll put one real low right here. Okay. Then I'm going to grab this one. And these are really fun because you can kind of do whatever you want to do. Just try all different things, and you can't make it look bad. You can overlap like that. Okay. I have a little bit coming in here. And then I'm going to put some short ones like down here. And then I'm going to grab this one that I haven't used yet and ink that up. Like that. I think that's good. Okay, so now my next step is to remove these sheets, these strips, from my card. And the whole look of the thing changes when you take that off. Let's pull this one off. Get this out of the way so you can see what that looks like. Now it looks like a field of wildflowers. I love that. Okay, so then my next step is going to be to trim this. And the reason why I didn't trim it right away is because sometimes you get darker color right here on the sides, or sometimes you stamp something and it looks a little bit weird on the side. So I want to take this panel down to 5 inches. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off of each side so that it's down to 5 inches across. And the whole panel measures 3 3/4 by 5. And then this whole panel is going to go onto a piece of black onyx. So we can put that on there now. All right. And then my whole panel is going to go on top of my Ocean Mist card base. Now here's one thing that you can do, is you can make up a whole bunch of these and not have any greetings on them. And then wait until you have an occasion, and it could be a birthday, it could be an anniversary, it could be a sympathy, but whatever you need, then you can just grab a long greeting stamp and stamp it and you're ready to go. But just for the sake of making a card, maybe I'll do the I'm so happy for you, or thank you. Let's do thank you for this one, and then I'll show you the birthday wishes one that I did. Okay. So I want to ink this up real well with black onyx. Now you can use a different color too. If you don't want to use black, you can play off of the turquoise in there and maybe do some turquoise sea, or you can add some fresh asparagus. I'm going to do thank you right here. There we go. So there is thank you on that one. And let me show you the one that I originally did. Here is one with birthday wishes. So you can see what that looks like. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see that up close a little bit. There you go. So there is my finished card project. I hope you've enjoyed today's Stamp TV video. Stay tuned to Stamp TV for lots more inspiration, and thanks so much for watching.